Howdy, y'all. How you going? We're looking at a video suggestion today from an email from Elizabeth. So thank you for this. This is looking at internationally famous musicians that you did not know were Australian. So I've done actors that were Australian way long ago, last year. Very good video, and there were certainly some surprises on there. So this is a similar video, but of course dealing with singers and musicians. So it should be equally as interesting, and it's always funny to me when you could listen to someone, on viral videos, not viral videos, I'm sorry, hit songs on the radio. Maybe you just don't look into it, right? You assume they're, from here in the U.S., and you find out they're totally not, right? What? I never would have guessed. So I think it's very fun. Oddly enough, before we get started, I'm going to be looking at a couple articles. That's what we're doing today. I've had to do this before for other videos. I was going to look at a YouTube video, but I could not for the life of me find the link. The link they provided was not working, and I looked manually for a video relating to Australian singers that people didn't know were Australian. And YouTube, I could not find a video on this topic. Somehow, at least in my experience, nothing was coming up. Kind of bizarre. So we're going to do it this way. This is a great video for comments. So any that you don't see here, please let me know down below. First of all, before I even start this, ones that I do know off the top of my head, can never think of any on the spot. AC/DC, I know they're from Australia. Legendary. I think everyone on earth knows AC/DC. Yeah. In excess, I've gotten their stuff from you guys in mail time. I did know about them, of course, growing up, and then I did not know that they were Australian until recently because of you guys. So that one's I do know now, and I think is very interesting. Olivia Newton-John recently passed away, right, a few months ago. I did know that she was Australian. Later in life, I didn't know when I was younger, but I did find that out later. Anyway, let's go. Let's look into it, okay? 12 musicians you didn't know were Australian. Okay, so Gabriella Silmi? I don't know. Forgive my ignorance on that pronunciation. Australian singer-songwriter Gabrielle was born in Melbourne, Victoria, and she is known for songs like Sweet About Me and On a Mission. There is a screenshot of a video. Now, we're not going to play the videos because I don't want to get like 10 copyright strikes on this video, but that's kind of cool. Off the top of my head, I don't know her off the top of my head. Very interesting, though. I'll play like a second of them so we don't get copyrighted to hell and back. Very interesting. Okay. Oh, look at this. Look who's next. Godier. I did not know he was Aussie. What? Born in Bruges in 1980, Walter Andre Wally de Backer. Wow, that's a mouthful. Moved to Melbourne at the age of 2 and has been producing music since 2001 under the name of Godier, the Belgian-Australian multi-instrumentalist and singer-songwriter, producing music in the indie rock, indie pop, and alternative genres, gained international success with his song, Somebody That I Used to Know. Yeah, that song still plays on the radio sometimes, even to this day, 11 or 12 years later. Very catchy, very fun song to hear. I did not know that he was Aussie. Iggy Azalea, oh my God. I thought I've heard that before. I don't know where I would have heard that. But it's one of those that you would never guess, at least from my perspective as an American. If you'd asked me a few years ago, I wasn't even sure when I heard that too. Now this is confirmed. I thought years ago she was definitely American, like straight up guilty. Yeah, it says she did move to the U.S. at the age of 16, but of course her first early years were definitely Australia. She was born in Sydney. And well-known Aussie rapper, actress, songwriter, model, and director. That is crazy. I am sure so many Americans, even to this day, might not know that she's Australian, or at least for the longest time when she became famous. I bet tons of people didn't have a clue. That one's very interesting. Next, we have Jimmy Barnes. Scottish-born Australian rock singer, songwriter Jimmy Barnes has become one of the most popular and best-selling Australian music artists of all time. Moving to Adelaide at age 5, Barnes was taught how to sing by older brother John. Known for Working Class Man as Stone Cold, Barnes performed the closing ceremony at the Sydney Olympics in 2000. No kidding. That's really cool. I've definitely heard this name come up from you guys in comments before. John Farnham. So This one I have not featured on my channel, but you guys have been telling me for, oh God, it feels like over a year. Since like 2021, I've heard this guy. Very, very famous, I would say. He was actually born in England, but moved to Melbourne at age 10. So he got a few years in England, but definitely spent the rest of his time in Australia, becoming a teen pop idol from 64 to 79, before taking a more serious career as a solo artist. You're the Voice. Yes, you guys have referenced that. Peaking at #1 in Australia, Germany, and Sweden. He's won many honors, 19 ARIA Awards, Australian of the Year, 1987. And he also performed at the Sydney Olympics alongside Olivia Newton-John. How cool is that? Followed by a live performance for the Aussie Olympic team in the lead up to the London Olympics later in 2012. Yeah, I'd say that guy can sing. Keith Urban, I should have said this at the beginning. I did know this. Actually, it says he was born in New Zealand in 1967. Yeah, he does a great job at capturing American country music, right? He's got all the lingo, the brands, and all that, right? He really does a good job. Country music is very fun amongst American people here. And again, a lot of people might not know. I mean, he is married, or is married. I'm not sure. I don't keep up with celebrity like gossip too much, but I know at one point he was married to Nicole Kidman. Missy Higgins, born in Melbourne in 1983. She's responsible for All for Believing. She got entered into a competition for unsigned artists, winning the competition. This launched her career as Higgins' song aired in Los Angeles and landed her an international recording deal where she went on to release popular songs like Where I Stood and Scar, especially stories where they kind of just got like a chance or like a competition and they won it, and then boom, it launched a legitimate singing career. How exciting. Natalie Imbruglia, born in Sydney in 1975. Okay. Appeared on both the Australian and British version of The X Factor. Very interesting. Been nominated for multiple awards. And then Olivia Newton-John, yes. Wonderful, very famous actress and singer that a lot of us, or most of us, know. And yeah, I'd say she's very famous in the U.S., in the U.K., in Australia, and I mean, she played in Australia and in Greece, right? So Oriente, never heard of her either. She was born in Adelaide. She relocated to Los Angeles and appeared on Carrie Underwood's lead guitarist for the Grammy Awards in 2009. That's very interesting. What an opportunity. She had a hit called According to You in 2009, peaking in Australia, Japan, and the U.S. She also became Michael Jackson's lead guitarist in his This Is It concert series. That is crazy. She's been guitarist with lots of famous people. She was also a guitarist for Alice Cooper. My goodness, she's got a hell of a resume. Sia, whoa. Okay, see, here we go. Sia, very famous, tons of famous songs, still on the radio sometime. Did not know that she was Australian. I ignorantly thought she was just American, and she's not. She is born in Adelaide. That is crazy. Sia Further is her full name. Titanium with David Guetta. Yeah, that was a very famous one. Wild Ones with Flo Rida. Co-written many songs. That's one thing I learned a few years ago, that even songs that she didn't sing, because she's famous for a lot of songs of her own, she's also co-written many songs for other uber famous people. So she's written songs for Christina Aguilera, Beyonce, Kylie Minogue, and Rihanna. Also, we have Vance Joy, born in Melbourne in 1987. One of the most popular artists, plays guitar and ukulele. He had a debut single, From Afar, in 2013. He was a promising Aussie rules footy player. No kidding. All right, and then this is 10 more. Any duplicates, I'll just skip over. So we're going to start with Parcels. This is a electro-funk group that met at high school in Byron Bay in 2014. Okay, Air Supply. They were another band. They met in Sydney, and they currently reside in the United States. Very interesting. Temper Trap, another band from Melbourne. They moved to the UK where they were signed to the label Infectious Music. They were part of the indie boom in the 2000s. No kidding. FNZ, another... these are a little more lesser known to me, so I did not know any of these yet on this article. FNZ, they've They hail from Perth, Western Australia. Really cool. They also went to Florida to kickstart their production careers in 2009. It paid off. They've produced some of A$AP Rocky's best-known tracks, and they even turned up on Kanye West's last full-length Jesus is King album. Very interesting. Flea. Is this the Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers? No freaking way. Yeah, it is. Red Hot Chili Peppers bassist Flea was born in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne in 1962. No way. Holy crap. Then he moved to the U.S. and joined one of the biggest bands in the world. Yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers, absolutely legendary. He still owns a holiday house on the New South Wales south coast. Returns often to visit family and enjoy the local flora and fauna. I don't blame him there. Yeah, very cool. I mean, what a life. That guy has gotten to be super famous in America, Australia. That sounds pretty cool. He was in what I label my favorite movie of all time. I'm always tough with favorites. I don't like to say, like, my favorite so-and-so is this, because picking one out of so many different things is always hard for me. But movies I tend to say as a default answer, Back to the Future trilogy is my favorite movies. And he, if you didn't know, he was in those. He actually plays the character called Needles in the Back to the Future trilogy. And I always thought that was kind of funny. He's got that funny look, you know. And I did not know this whole time till right now he was from Australia. How cool is that? Oh, Rick Springfield. No way. Rick Springfield? Jesse's Girl, of course, one of his biggest hits. He moved to America in 1972, began acting, and released his album Working Class Dog with Jesse's Girl on it, which did reach #1 on American and Australian charts. Did not know he was Australian. That is mind-blowing to me. What? Rounding out the list, we have Empire of the Sun, which I don't feel like I know them as well. I feel like I should know them. Walking on a Dream, let's hear a couple minutes, or a couple seconds, rather. I feel like I do know that. I do know that. Okay, I did not know they were Australian. Very interesting. In Press for Time here, guys, Airborne, Heavy Rock Titans, they are from Australian as well. They signed with Capitol Records here in the U.S. No kidding. They support bands such as Motley Crue, Motorhead, Iron Maiden, and the Rolling Stones around America. Very, very cool. Iggy, we knew that. Mark Stromer, born in Australia, known for his position as the bass player of The Killers. No kidding. Is an Australian citizen. His father was born here, which makes... Wow, Mark has a dual Australian and American citizenship. He still holds his dual citizenship. That is super, super cool. The Killers, very famous here. I've heard tons of their songs over the years. Would have never known that their bassist is Australian. That's super cool. Super cool that he has dual citizenship, too, between the U.S. and Australia. Two of the greatest countries in the world. That's awesome. Well, that's going to do it for this one, guys. I thought those were a very interesting list. A couple of them I did know, and then a lot of them very pleasant surprises. I did not know that some of these famous artists were Australian. I just think that's super fun. They do a great job, maybe, of, like, fooling you, right? They're not trying to fool you. It's just, like, singing is interesting because people can... It kind of masks people's accents and stuff. So I think that's part of it. If you just hear a couple songs from an artist and you never hear them talk or see them in interviews, you might not know that they're not American, right? Because I feel like singing voices sometimes, not all the time, sometimes tend to sound like a more generic accent. And I guess as an American, from my point of view, we just tend to think, oh, they must be American. If it's not like a heavy accent from somewhere else. I don't know if that's how it works or what. Very interesting, though. Would you like to add any artists that would blow my mind that are Australian? Please tell me down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, I couldn't find a video on this on YouTube, so I made do here. And throw a like on there if you did enjoy it, all right? Subscribe to be part of this amazing community. Thank you for your suggestions, as always. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker, and until next time, y'all, catch you later.